Hello everybody, I'm Joshino and today I'm going to be doing my top 10 reasons to play Planetside 2. From bottom to top, let's start with number 10. And going in at the basics, if you don't listen to the naysayers who are usually people with thousands of hours put in the game and people that have enjoyed it themselves, Planetside 2 is a good all-round experience. It's a solid shooter, vehicle simulator and tactician's paradise. And whilst it isn't the best at any of these, there are many games with better shooter mechanics than Planetside 2, it is definitely a jack of all trades and does them all to a level that is enjoyable, a good level. Coming in at number 9, this game gives you the greatest potential to be the best. There are thousands of players on this continent, and unlike smaller games where there may be only 10 people in a map or 60 people in a map, there really isn't a limit to how big of a kill streak you could get, to how much of an impact you can have in a fight. If you're doing a bombing run, you can take out an entire tank column. No other game can bring you as close to being the best in a game, and especially the best in a battle, and you really can unleash your inner demon. Coming in at number 8, we have the fact that it is in a sci-fi setting with 3 distinct factions with very different weapons and mechanics. And this strays away from the current mainstream modern warfare trope, which, to be honest, I'm kind of tired of. And I think it's very interesting to jump into a game with these 3 distinct factions where you can have loyalty to each one. Coming in at number 7, and something that's probably going to be controversial, is that it does have an epic endgame. And whilst veterans' eyes may glaze over at the continent captures, to a new player, being able to take over an entire continent is an epic feat. And I remember being a new player in the early game, and taking a continent was something absolutely amazing and awe-inspiring. No other shooter can compare to that sort of endgame. I mean, like Counter-Strike, you blow up the map, but it's not taking over a whole continent. Coming in at number 6, there are 5 continents including Coltier, and each continent has such a vast variety of base styles and locations, and alien environments like Hosin, which you just don't get in other games, and this is coming back from the modern warfare trope as well, and games that are firmly set in an Earth environment. And there isn't exactly certain maps in Planetside 2 apart from the giant continents, but it is almost like there are hundreds of individual maps in the game, and these different locations add different varieties of gameplay, tactics to take the bases, and just what happens at a base. Coming in at number 5, Planetside 2 is an MMO, and unlike other FPS games, has a rich social element. Having outfits provides alliances, friendships, and rivalries, which you just don't normally get in most FPS games. You might have small clans or communities outside the game, but you don't have it on a scale where these outfits are intermingling and having such close contact with each other within the game. At number 4 comes the fact that it is free to play, and people may have thought this should be higher, but there are a lot of free to play games out there. Why it's good with Planetside 2 is the fact that it really isn't pay to win, mostly. I mean, there's no way that you can't be a little bit pay to win, especially with the fact that you can get XP boosts in the game, which can get you certification points. But everything that you start out with as a starter player is usually one of the best weapons in its class, or at the very least it is a jack of all trades. It's good at everything. Weapons in the game are all side grades, so they're good at doing specialised things, and they may be better in close quarters combat, long range, whatever, but the weapons you get to start off with are perfectly fine. And also they've started off giving 1,000 certification points to every new player, which is fantastic. It's a big boost for Planetside 2. Coming in at number 3, we have the fact that this game brings in combined arms not seen anywhere else in any other game. Nowhere else will you see 50 tanks come over a hill and having real live players whizzing over in attack fighters and bombers, lots of them. You just don't see that in games. They're normally just animations of these little models whizzing past in the air, but in this game everything in the air, everything on the ground is a player, and they all have their own minds, and it's carnage. And number 2, we're getting close now, Planetside 2 offers so many different ways to play the game. It really is a game where you play the way you want to play it. There are 6 classes, 9 vehicles for each faction, and each empire has different weapons, different equipment, and different styles. And with each class and each vehicle, there are lots of little paths that you can take using your certification points like perks, and you can completely change the way you want to play. And I think this is one of the big points of Planetside 2. You can play lots of different games within a big game, an overarching game. In number 1 comes the fact that it is an experience of warfare on a scale you cannot get anywhere else. It is such a unique experience, and most other games don't really deserve to have the tag of being a battle or a war or a warfare simulator, because they just don't have this scale. And Planetside 2 provides a platform that has really not been challenged so far. I mean, the last thing was MAG on PS4 or PS3, but it only had 256 players, and when you're taking into account the fact that a continent has 2,000 players on it at peak, you can see the fact that Planetside 2 really hasn't been challenged yet. Anyway, what does everyone else think? Was I wrong anywhere, or does anyone really agree? Be sure to comment below. Please swipe at that thumbs up button and subscribe to hear and see more of me. Until next time everybody, Joshino.